wanted me to be a doctor. Everything good? We're here to help.
We're doing the best we can here. That's all we can ever do. 3 gunshots this week alone. I guess we know where UC Security's priorities are. And aren't. Oh, you remembered. I'm touched, dear, really. Yes, there's absolutely something you can do to help. All the children seem to have the same stomach bug, but I'm having trouble diagnosing it. Pediatrics isn't my specialty. But one of my colleagues, Dr. Lebedev, is an expert. If I had his research notes, I'm sure I could diagnose the disease and find a treatment. I've seen an uptick in cases of sick children in the medbay recently. They all seem to be presenting the same symptoms, but I can't identify the cause. It isn't serious enough to kill them, but I haven't found an effective treatment yet. That has me worried. He works topside at Reliant Medical. It's easy to find. It's right between Mast and Orion Tower. Dr. Lebedev is always there. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'd go myself, but I can't leave the medbay unattended.
The United Colonies Vanguard program recently celebrated its 15-year anniversary. Dozens of Vanguard pilots.
She said she found someone
No,
else.
I'm not feeling that bad.
We have an appointment. You're seeing the doctor.
There are a few injuries that can't be addressed here. If you walk in, you will almost assuredly walk out. Welcome to Reliant. If you're in need of medical assistance or require supplies, I am sure we can accommodate you.
Well, of course, New Atlantis is a big place. Lots of people, which means no shortage of injuries, communicable diseases. But we're well staffed and do our best to accommodate anyone who needs help. Well, everyone knows Reliant, largest medical provider in the settled systems. They've spent decades advancing medical science with their research division, and have built an entire supply network to keep us all healthy. They've always been quite proud to work here. A medical problem Talia can't solve. I never thought I'd see the day. How can I help?
We've been professional acquaintances for a long time. She's an excellent nurse. If the well didn't need her so badly, I'd have offered her a job here ages ago. Sick children? Well, we can't have that. I'd be happy to help. Let's see. A stomach bug. I've treated plenty of those. I keep extensive notes. I'm sure I have something that can help. Ah, yes, here we go. This should do the trick. I've uploaded some of my notes on common stomach issues in pediatric patients to this slate. Please, pass it on to Talia. She can keep it. And give her my best, will you? I hope everything works out for those kids.
Several areas currently zoned as residential are seeking to allow home-based business.
So she found someone else.
Oh, yeah?
If you need... I've got limited resources, but I try not to turn anyone away. Really? Let's see. Ah, this is perfect. I knew Dr. Lebedev would have what I needed. I'll have this solved in no time with these notes for reference. Thank you so much, dear. Really. I couldn't have done this without you. Okay, what seems to be the problem? You need a bit of work, for sure, but I can handle it. All right, we'll suture this up in no time. All fixed up best as you can be.
If you haven't, don't take it personal if I don't stop to chat. Lots to do, not nearly enough hands to do it all. Would you? I'd really appreciate it. I saw them hanging around the UC surplus earlier today. They sure looked suspicious to me. They've been coming here regularly for the last couple weeks, and all they do is sit on the balcony and watch the UC surplus. I thought I heard them mention a robbery, but I'm not sure. They seem to know I'm onto them, so they stop talking about it when I'm around. That's not how I want this handled. Kay's place is the only safe haven in the well. I can't condone violence. If anyone's going to handle them, it should be security. But I have to be sure they're up to something before I get the authorities involved. I don't want to get anyone on security's bad side for no reason. Why don't you do a little sleuthing for me? Maybe you'll have better luck eavesdropping on them than I did. We can decide what to do once we figure out if they're really up to something.
I don't know, Isaac. Seems like a tough joint to crack.
Nah, that's just what they want you to think, Louis. You see security around here?
No, but
Nothing. I say we strike while the iron's hot. I got a feeling that goody two-shoes at Kay's place is gonna rat us out.
she was giving us some serious side-eye last time we were in there.
See? No time like the present. We'll do it tonight. It'll be fine, trust me. We'll be in and out in time to make last call at Jake's. Frick's info is good. This'll be a piece of cake.
That's a pretty big if.
You gotta trust me. You'll be fine.
I guess I need to work on my self-confidence.
If we can make this happen, we'll be real big shots around here.
I sure hope we can make it happen.
Hey, I thought you were on my side here.
If you say so, Isaac.
If we pull this off, we'll be swimming in credit.
Stay as long as you
Everyone's
like.
welcome, so long
And
as you
don't
keep
be
your
a
hands to
stranger.
yourself. Damn. I was hoping I had it wrong. I guess that settles it. We have to get the authorities involved before they can go through with the robbery. You should take this straight to Officer Endler at the security office. He'll look into it. If he gives you a hard time, tell him I sent you to make the report. That'll get him on your side. Head out the door and turn left. It's all the way at the end of the street. You can't miss it. Sort of. He's a regular customer, and I've reported crimes to him before. He's more fair-minded than most of the Wells security officers. Thanks. Let me know when you've made the report, okay?
Having a good one?
If you think about it, the more that helps you get a better job, it basically
I don't know why UC Security bothers with an office down here when they're clearly not interested in helping these people at all.
What I wouldn't give to be stationed in the Embassy District. Well, that's what we're here for. What's going on? The UC surplus. You sure about that? It's been a long time since someone was stupid enough to rob that place. It's a military outfit for one thing. Most criminals don't want to make an enemy of the UC. The guy who runs is pretty intense, too. He wouldn't think twice about shooting a would-be thief. It's hard to argue with first-hand info. I guess I'll take your word for it. I'll head over there now to check it out. Those thieves won't be so cocky with security on patrol.
Hello.
Hey, I thought you...
kids are happy. That's all I need.
Oh, security's onto us. I can feel it.
This will take years of your life, I'm telling you. Like it's somewhat of a secret.
That was quick. How'd things go with Officer Endler? Don't take it personally. Endler's not usually one to trust strangers. That's why I told you to use my name if he gave you any trouble. I'm glad you were able to talk him into it. Thanks for your help with this. I feel a lot better knowing security's on patrol down there.
I wish I lived on a spaceship.
I've lived in New Atlantis almost my entire life, and I had no idea this place even existed. The UC certainly excels at keeping secrets.
Authorized entry. Unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor. But there are no additional visitors permitted. Your friend's gonna have to wait out here.
I'll be fine. You go on ahead.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down and approach the intercom. You and I should chat. President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy, lurking in the shadows. You're going to need all the help you can get. Which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you know who I am? There's a reason for that. Introductions first, though. I'm Francois Sanon, but most know me as Victus. I was an admiral during the Colony War. One of its great villains, if you believe the slates. I was to be executed for my crimes. But the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. So they put me here. A sacrifice on the altar of peace. Even my death served the colonies. One final act of rebellion by the leadership that lost the Colony War. The trial was authentic. I faced tribunal with dignity, but my execution, staged. A lethal injection that was anything but. The cabinet at the time, long gone now, wished to keep me on as an advisor, and considering the other option, I was in no place to refuse. So I elected to trade my freedom for my continued existence. But such is the life of a soldier. To warrant my execution, the official charges I faced after the war were twofold. The first was the destruction of civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne, a battle during which those civilian ships were actively attacking my fleet. The other was ordering the bombing of the Londinian spaceport to halt the spread of the Terramorph outbreak there. The city and its citizens were lost, but countless others likely saved. And for doing what was right, I was put on trial. And my life irrevocably changed. Very astute. That's my daughter. My progeny. You've been working alongside. Has she shared with you the nature of our little family? Did she? So willing to trust Hadrian. I never did succeed in driving that out of her. Our relationship has always been a challenging one. The Major was born to become a great leader, carry on the legacy I established, and was given all the finest training to support it. And she excelled. But the universe cut all that short. Now, though, it's placed even more crucial work in front of the two of you. And I think I have a part to play in helping you accomplish what you've set out to do. It was an attempt by the United Colonies to solidify its own legacy, forging a new generation of great leaders. They were raised by adoptive families made up of scholars and tacticians, trained at the United Colonies' greatest scientific and military academies, displayed incredible promise. But by the time the Colony War came to a close, there was only Hadrian. But that's ancient history now. You have much more pressing matters at hand, with which I can help. After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios to lure in some of the criminals that evaded justice after the Colony War. With quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. The names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange, I need something dealt with. Well, who better to find them? But many of them I knew personally, and I've always had a mind for details. Where someone was born, next of kin. You'd be shocked how often an otherwise brilliant criminal flees to the planet just next to the one where they were born. Or family member resides. I simply use my own personal knowledge and the information our group collects for me to track them down and set things right. One task. That's all I require. There is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orlaise. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colony's more problematic lines of research. Mech weapons were his specialty. If it dealt death, he could make a deal more. When the colony war ended, he fled, refusing to face tribunal, and has continued to peddle his skills to the highest bidder to this day. But I finally found him. I want you to track him down and deal with him, however you're able. I'm not expecting he'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done, and I'll tell you what I know. Captain, your files indicate a track record of unlikely successes. It is my genuine hope that, perhaps down the line, you might become a part of our team. And this might be something of a tryout. Speak to Deputy McIntyre. I'm sure she'd be happy to hear that someone might be tying up this loose end at long last. Though I would ask you, do not make the mistake of confusing me for a simple cutthroat. You can certainly try, but the man's been out there 20 years. He's likely gone feral by now. Easier for all if you simply blow up his ship and be done with it. If that's what you require to sleep at night, so be it. According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria, Wolf System. There is a star station in the vicinity. The Den. The head of the local vanguard, one Captain Marquez, should be able to help you find our man.
Identity verified. You may proceed to the exit.
A lot on your mind? Lead the way.
Okay, hello.
Captain, did your meeting go well? I hope it's clear now why we needed you to agree to all the secrecy. Surprised me too when I learned it, but the prisoner has proven useful over the years, and kept far from any major decision-making. But I do think it's worth re-emphasizing. No one else can know about this, all right? Good. Because bringing this up to the outside world would create the unfair appearance, Captain, that you're unhinged. And And that's not a good look for any of us. Now, was there something in particular you needed to discuss about what we were just discussing? Dr. Reginald Orlaise? He's finally found him. Of course, killing Orlaise is completely out of the question, but bringing him to justice... He's been on the lam for years. That'd be a huge win for the UC. What's being offered in return? Really? He found the members of the research team. We'd already initiated a search for them, but it'd save a lot of time and manpower if he just gave us that information. Captain, if that's the deal, you have my endorsement. Just so long as you make every effort to bring the man in alive. Now, was there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding your meeting? The Den? It's a star station. Orbiting Wolf, the second star station actually to bear that title. The first one was blown to smithereens by House Varun during the Serpent's Crusade. The place has always acted as a remote strategic hub, primarily for repairing and refueling UC military vessels. But because of its distance from the rest of the UC, things there have always been a little more lax. Patrols included. I can think of worse places in the galaxy for a criminal to hide out. Trusting the man downstairs would be a mistake, but I don't think you need to be too concerned. This is far from the first name he's handed over, and all previous missions went off largely without a hitch. So while I'd certainly warrant caution, I think you can proceed. Then I'll bid you good day, Captain, and remind you of the importance of discretion.
Let me know when you're ready to launch.
We're locked in.
Need some work done?
Well, this station's seen better days. I wonder if the UC will ever fully restore it to its former glory.
I am, hands down, the best pilot in this dump. Don't let anyone tell you different. Only a matter of time before I get promoted out of here. You kidding? It's what I was born to do. Wait, I mean flying is what I was born to do. This Vanguard thing? Temporary. Only a matter of time before I get called up to the Navy. Before you know it, I'll be a captain. Wait, Admiral, yeah! What does it matter? I'm gonna be out of here before you can blink, and this will all be behind me. That reporter didn't put you up to this, did he? I already told him it was a misunderstanding, an accident. My flight record was spotless otherwise. Well, yeah. Why wouldn't I be? Oh, right. You haven't seen me fly. If you had, you'd know how good I am. What? I'm not advertising anything. I'm a pilot. For the Vanguard. Are you even paying attention? I'd offer to let you fly along on my next mission, but, oh, man, I nearly forgot. Listen, I need a favor. I've got an application in for a promotion in the Vanguard, but I haven't heard anything back. It's been a while. Their reply must have gotten lost along the way. It happens. We're really far from New Atlantis. Anyway, would you mind going there and following up for me? Just like that? Wow, that's great! I'm not gonna forget that you're doing this for me. This is just the start of my climb up the ranks. You'll see. Okay, you're gonna want to talk to Commander Tuala. I'm sure he's aware of me because I've sent him a few messages now. Just bring back whatever message for me so I can get out of here, okay? Really appreciate it. Okay then.
What? Oh, sorry. Just the terramorph attack. I'm lucky to still be here.
If you're ever in New Atlantis, mind putting in a good word for me? I don't think my messages to SSNN are getting through. That's a little surprising, isn't it? Out here on the edge of UC space. But it's just so quiet. Why, certainly. The Settled Systems News Network is the longest-running news service in, well, the Settled Systems. Reporters are dispatched all over, keeping an ear to the ground for some breaking news that should be known to everyone. It can, admittedly, be a bit of a pain making sure those stories reach our central office in New Atlantis. But until someone invents faster-than-light communication, it's the best we can do. Well, I certainly feel that way. The Vanguard pilots don't seem to want to associate with me. And I don't agree with Mr. Romack's views on the colony war, so there are few options left to me. You know, I really thought volunteering for this assignment was going to be the boost to my career that I was looking for. Now I suspect even SSNN has forgotten about me. But that's not at all what I'm doing. I feel like no one is listening to me. Goodbye, then.
Hello there. Welcome to the Trade Authority. I'm Marcel, and if there's anything I can do for you, please, do let me know. Our stock may not be as vast as New Atlantis or Sidonia, but I will do my best to see that you leave here satisfied. And seeing as the Trade Authority is the only fully licensed operator for the Den, I'm afraid your alternatives are, shall we say, slim. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and I hope this and all future interactions are profitable for both of us. If there are deals to be made, you'll find that we'll go to great lengths to take advantage of them. My primary role here is to oversee logistics operations for our many trade routes in the area, but I convinced my superiors that it was worth setting up something more customer-oriented. I'm told that they are quite pleased with the results. It's very kind of you to offer, but I am currently not in a position to personally require your services. There are, however, likely some Trade Authority contracts available at the terminal down in the bar. I'm sure you're already aware that the Trade Authority is quite generous when it comes to completing said contracts. Yes, of course.
used to be an actuary. Now look at me.
Hey there. Ain't seen you before. What brings you to the den? That's so. Not many have reason to pass through here. Seems like most avoid it. But what do I know? I'm just an old man who's been here too long. Well, you're welcome here, so long as I don't hear you disrespecting the United Colonies military. You got a problem with our history or our heroes? And you can find somewhere else to get yourself a drink. Clear? Well, now that depends. You support the UC? Consider yourself a patriot? Sure as hell does. All right, maybe you can help me out. I had some posters made up a while back to remind folks of the good work Vae Victis has done for all of us. Try and push back against all the lies the government tells. I'd put them up here, but that's, caused some friction with the Vanguard pilots. I hate to see them go to waste, though. If a strong-willed, patriotic individual, such as yourself, were to make sure some of them were placed where they could inspire the people of the United Colonies, well, that'd be something. And there'd be some credits in it for anyone helping out the UC. What do you think? I was thinking the well might be a good spot. People down there might be more receptive, don't you think? That's the spirit. All right. Posters are in the back there, and you just let me know when you're done. Tell me something I don't know. You should have seen this place 30 years ago. UC's best and brightest were in and out of here all the time. But then the Colony War and, well, most folks don't like to be honest about that. I ain't one to turn my back on those who saved us in those days. And because I won't dishonor the memory of Vae Victis, business dries up. Ain't my problem that people don't like to face the reality of what happens in wartime. Man was a hero, not a traitor. Oh, he was a brilliant man. Just brilliant. Best leader we could have asked for in a crisis. He made the tough decisions no one else could. Did what needed to be done. Saved our asses. And when it was over, they turned on him. Called him a traitor and executed him. Just shameful. Well, not all of us are just gonna go along with rewriting history. Some of us remember. We saw it happen. Vae Victis sacrificed everything to save the United Colonies. That's what a real hero does. Long live the UC!
Don't let Orville get to you. Just smile, take your drink, and be on your way. Oh, hey, don't look at me. I'm just here for the liquor and the, occasional odd job or whatever. You know, that's a good question. I do stuff for Orville sometimes, odd jobs or whatever, when he's not annoying. But I think technically I get paid by the Vanguard. Gotta love bureaucracy, right? Ooh, well, that depends on who you ask. Orville over there is still stuck in the glory days when this was the domain of the UC military brass and all their hangers-on. You can't see those days are never coming back. The Vanguard pilots, they mostly just resent guarding the ass end of nowhere. Reyna's okay, I guess. She seems to really care about the mission. And me? Well, it's as good a place as any to be stuck, I guess. Uh-huh. Bye.
I'd heard the den wasn't quite living up to its old standards, but this... oh, it's definitely worse than I expected.
How come talking about history makes people so uncomfortable?
ever hear that one about the orphan and the platypus? Funny stuff.
Looking to lodge a complaint? Then you want UC security, not the Vanguard. Can try, I guess. Why? What do you need? Think you got some bad information. If there was a wanted man in our skies, he wouldn't still be out there. Unless... Are you talking about the Warlock? There's been rumor of a ship out there for years now. Doesn't respond to hails, never docks. More than a few amateur investigators have tried to find it, and at least 2 never came back. Aetherius debris fields are plenty dangerous if you're not used to flying in them. But if you're suggesting it might not have been the fields that got them, well, I can give you the coordinates of the Warlock's last sighting. Well, the original dense star station was destroyed decades ago during the Serpent's Crusade by marauding House Varun zealots. Big part of the remains from those battles ended up gathering around Etheria, forming a nasty debris field. Every now and then, some headstrong scrapper comes limping back because they hit an 80-year-old mine. Or sometimes they don't come back at all. Though, maybe it's not just the field that's been picking them off. I mean, I honestly thought it was just a story board haulers told to amuse each other. But if the pilot of the Warlock really has been dusting our people, well, hopefully you're about to make our skies a whole lot safer. Things you should know? The den's not really that kind of place. This is a quiet assignment. Keep an eye out for pirates, make sure smuggling's kept to a minimum, occasional rescue job out in the debris fields. Otherwise, it's mostly long haulers and staying ready for the day the Collective wants another round, or House Varun comes back in force. Sure thing. Here, this should get you pointed in the right direction. Good hunting, and stay safe.
I know your type. The free